Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Voting! The key to democracy. The foundation on which the freedom and liberty of America is built upon. It's awesome. One man, one vote. It seems that our founding fathers, however, misread the Constitution or, just skimmed it. Because originally voting was only for white landowners. So just the original 32 or so cracker-ass crackers could vote. George Washington was elected 19-4, with 9 absent because of their consumption. Voting rights and the attempt to kill those rights is as traditional as voting itself in America. In the 1800s, they started to limit the property requirement. Thank God. You didn't have to own property to vote anymore. Yeah. And then during Reconstruction, they passed the 15th Amendment, which said that people could not be denied the right to vote because of their color or their race. And that amendment was ratified by the states in 1870. So it only took 100 years to just get black people the right to vote in a country that claims all men are created equal. Women, on the other hand, they didn't get to vote till 1920 because the Constitution don't say broads is equal. But after that, it was smooth sailing, right?
Turn it upside down. Love to hear sunshine.
Right. Everyone could vote unless you couldn't pass a literacy test, didn't have 4 to 5 forms of identification, couldn't afford the poll tax, or just happened to be poor and or black. In the 60s, the country marched, however, and MLK and thousands of others helped get the Voting Rights Act passed in 1965. Now we're 200 years in. And that Voting Rights Act stopped policies and laws passed by the sweaty, non-reading, sister-screwing states that limited voting among African Americans and other people that just ain't American enough for me. Instead, the Voting Rights Act made the states submit changes to the voter laws in the states to the federal government for approval or pre-clearance, which stopped local officials from screwing voters. Yeah, you couldn't pass a law anymore saying you need to have all your fingers to vote. So because of the Voting Rights Act, clumsy shop teachers, their voices were heard. In 1993, motor voter happened, and you got registered to vote at the DMV. Finally, something getting done at the fucking DMV. And that made it easier for everyone to vote because all men are created equal, right? Well, at least until the GOP got a Sharpie and jammed in the word white. Yeah. To them, all white men are created equal, but only if your bank account is big enough. That's a Jim Jordan quote. Since the Voting Rights Act died, there have been 256 new laws introduced in state legislatures to stop people from voting. In 2021, and they are all listed with names like the Safety and Truth in Voting Act, the Clear and Honest and Fair Voter Law that has nothing to do with having zero policies that work for the people, and we know we're going to lose anyway. Act. There's also numerous other names that are frankly a giant Orwellian bitch slap to the entire country of America.
Why you? Slavery is freedom. War is peace.
To be clear, there was no voter fraud. I looked up how many examples of voter fraud in the last election, and I used the right-wing site, the Heritage Foundation. Can't get any more right. Here's the number of fake votes. 1,317. No. Take away some zeros. No, take away one more. One more. Out of 160 million odd votes cast in 2020, 1,317 were fraudulent, and of those, 1,134 were prosecuted, so less than 200 actual fraudulent votes. So let's break it down. Now I'm going to do math now, so if the power goes out, it's because I overloaded my California public school brain. 1,317 out of 160 million is 0.0000823%. Less than a 10,000th of 1%. Statistically zero. 0.0000823 voter fraud. Yet the Republicans are trying to take your vote away across the country. The H.R. 1 bill will stop any discrimination and keep America America. They're trying to take away your right to vote. Black and brown people fight in all our wars for oil. Shouldn't they vote too? I mean, I got to ask you, why do you vote Republican, honestly? They just want to take stuff, and I really want an answer to this. If the Republicans spent as much time writing policies that helped Americans as they did changing voting laws to screw over Americans, you know what? They'd probably get elected by Americans. But first, congressional Republicans would have to read the Constitution, believe in democracy, and then actually act like Americans. And with this crew, I don't see it. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. That's a good one. I think we need to put that up for a vote. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. I am in a better mood, I just realized, because we seem to have competence in government for a minute. Things are still going sideways, but it's like normal sideways, not holy shit, crazy sideways. Hi guys, with me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Hylinder.
There could be only one.
Yes, I am happy. We've got, today we hit 100 million vaccine doses, specific.
Really? 100
We're over
million?
100 million, 60
Wow.
days, 60 days in. My
Wow.
yeah, he beat it by 40 days. I think Biden's playing the game where he's just like, he's like, well, how fast can we do it? And they said 50 days. All right, say 100. And we'll see how we do.
We have not talked about it, but that was Groucho fluffing.
Yeah,
his
he's
puppy
fluffing his bed.
But the Trump statement about wanting to make sure that everyone that got a vaccine gave him credit, you haven't really talked
Oh
about
my
that statement that
Still at
I thought was the Onion. When I read it, I
Right,
thought no grown man person.
Right. It's bad when the onion is starting to be.
I thought it
that's
was-
real.
It's starting for the last 4 years. You know, everybody at the Onion was like, "Fuck, we can't keep up with this guy."
It's
Okay,
happening.
ready? Did you read it?
No,
This was
no.
like last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Quote, I hope everyone remembers when they're getting the COVID-19, often referred to as the China virus vaccine,
Oh yeah.
that if I wasn't president, you wouldn't be getting that beautiful shot for 5 years at best and probably wouldn't be getting it at all. I hope everyone remembers. Exclamation.
We remember. We wouldn't
I
have
like the
needed it.
sing-songy thing you added. He never talked like that, but it does make it
Because
really
he
sound
puts
like an asshole.
exclamation points and quote. Why did he quote around shot? Now, it actually is a shot. You don't. It's not
Donald Trump also referred to many times as fat doofus dipshit.
by you.
No, it's a lot of people.
Oh, is it? Oh, it does say that actually. Oh, I see. 2021 fat doofus dipshit. I didn't see that.
It's so he said the vaccine, he didn't give a shit about it, didn't shut anything down, 500,000 dead. Now he's claiming that he's the one that made it happen. We've got to, we knew it was coming, but it's always stunning to me that no one has, like, literally, there's no soul in the man. You don't even
No.
have the insight or any kind of self-awareness to go, I'm just going to go away and shut up.
Or 500,000 people have died,
Yes.
and this would not be an appropriate
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
to dance on their graves and ask for credit for
Right.
the
Right.
thing that's
Yeah, look-
protecting the ones
Yeah.
that
Look what I
remain.
did. Look what I did. You know, and it's quiet because they're all dead.
I mean, he did do it in a way because he fucked up the entire thing. So now the whole world needs a fucking vaccine
Yeah.
when it could have been slowed down at the
They
source.
said this last week. They said that
no.
we'd have less than 100,000 dead had we just
You
jumped on
guys.
this and locked it down. What?
I have breaking news coming up on my
No.
computer because I'm
On top of
really-
it.
I'm a reporter.
Here at the Titus Podcast, we're on top of it.
By
What's
about
today?
3 days or so. Yeah. Army Hammer under investigation by LAPD for alleged sexual assault.
Oh.
Army Hammer.
The guy that makes baking soda?
The guy with the porn name?
Why?
both wrong.
That guy.
That's Jeremy. What's his name? And that's Arm and Hammer.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say
Army Hammer.
the guy that runs a baking soda company.
My brother loves Army.
You know the
Hammer.
weird thing? They
Okay.
couldn't find any evidence. It was all destroyed because he
Because
spread
there's a lot of
soda.
powdery. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, hold on. I just opened the news story. Do you know what's funny? It's not who I thought it was either.
Wait, there's another Army Hammer?
He's an actor, right?
Who's the guy I'm thinking of? The military guy that my brother loves. Army Early? Early Army.
Yeah, he's dead. The guy who was in
Lee Army? Wait, Lee Army.
Welcome again to the Titus Podcast. We're on top of the news.
On top of the news.
Lee Army, the guy
Like
has
5 years.
All right, dipshit.
That guy.
No,
I
that's
was like,
F. Lee
how would
Army.
he sexually
Yeah, F. Lee
assault a
Army.
woman?
But,
Army?
Listen, he was in. He
Say his name.
Full Metal Jacket. He was.
Yeah,
he was the,
that's who I thought they were talking about.
Army Early Army. Army.
Numb
That's
nuts.
not right. Okay, hold on.
Boy, and we get mad at some of the Middle Eastern names. Army Early? What the fuck, dude? Really?
How would he sexually
Akbar,
assault
come here and talk
people?
to this guy. What's the guy's name?
You need to take your clothes off right now against your own will. Shit. What's his name?
I will be putting my hand in your vagina and you will not complain. If you do.
Go fuck you.
Ready?
Yeah, he will literally.
He's gonna
Turns out
literally-
that's the report. Army Early skull fucked
He
you
really
women
did it.
against their will.
His name is not Army Early.
It's Early Army.
We're so sorry to everyone, to every camera.
Full Metal Jacket is a movie.
Lee
Yes.
Just want you to know.
Ermy. My
Arlie-
brother's head would have exploded.
Arlie
during that
Ermy.
R,
R.
which was a
letter.
letter.
Consonant. I know
Period.
that. Period.
Lee
R. Lee.
Ermy.
Ermy. Early Army.
Is he? No.
That's what I said.
That was-
I was close enough.
that was
I had
the draft, he was
Listen,
saying.
the letters were a little mixed up.
Army Hammer
It was a jumble. I was
is
doing a
much
jumble.
younger and not dead, apparently, after clicking on the news story.
Career is about to be.
He's a young guy
Yeah.
who's
Do you know what-
not unattractive.
Can I ask something? Okay, so
Oh no,
he's not
Gloria
unattractive.
Allred. Gloria Allred's on the case.
He's not unattractive. That's the weird thing. Is I don't understand. Like what is it about? He's a decent looking guy. I'm sure he can get women. Like
It
what's
has
the-
nothing to do with that. You know that. I mean,
But what I
surely
don't get.
you
I'm
know
not.
that.
I was taught.
Bill
my dad,
Cosby could have.
say what you want about my dad. My dad was classy with women.
Well,
he never forced them into
classy
bed.
is not
He
the
smoothed
word I
them
would
into
use.
bed. You know, I'm not saying he was an a-hole later, but I'm
smoothed
saying, you know, once he got his hooks in. I mean, but he never got his hooks in violently. You know, it was a velvet
He
hook.
finessed.
He did through
Yes,
persuasion.
he was good. Yes, he was. Yeah.
He made
Good
women wake
old-fashioned-
up, and instead of blaming him, they just thought, "God, I'm such an idiot." God, they blame themselves, right?
Right.
And then he walked out of the bathroom. with
And
a
they
cigarette,
weren't
like,
upset.
Are you guys doing you all right? No, they moved in with him. They moved in with him. Then later they got upset.
And
yes.
became your mom.
Became the new mom. Yes.
This guy, he's very young. He's a nice looking guy. It has nothing to do with how they look or if they can get girls. It has to do with control and dominance. Bill Cosby, we heard forever, was flying young Asian women around on his private jet.
I just don't understand. If you can get all the sex you want by just being you because you're famous and rich, why
which
would
is
you?
not a great commentary on women, I will say.
That's true, but it's there is a
Or men.
truth in it that is crazy.
Or young men. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
For sure.
and I just don't understand like what damage he's Army Hammer's famous.
Is that his name? Are you sure?
Army Hammer, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
He's famous. He's got money. He's good looking, and you still had to be a dick about it. Like I don't like.
Right.
By the way, men are creepy. We talked about this. I mean, just that you had all that and you still were a dick.
Still being a creepy asshole.
You're out.
Yeah, but that has to
you
do
got to
with
tap out.
whatever is wrong inside of him, whatever was done to him when he was younger, now needing to exert that control over someone else, victimizing. Bill Cosby got off on victimization,
Yeah.
period. He didn't like, consensual sex, or else he wouldn't have drugged them. Some of those women might have slept with him consensually. We'll never know. He instead drugged them so that he could rape them while they were asleep. I mean, that's a whole other level of psychosis that we could not even
That's a
delve
mental
into.
illness. That's a crazy mental illness.
I mean, look, as long as we've been together, I'm sure that there have been a few times that you wish I were just asleep and not talking.
Yeah, not to make love to you either. just Jesus Christ.
Quiet. I need quiet.
In the middle of this conversation, I don't know where we're at, and if you could go to sleep right now for an hour or
I
two.
actually am. I know that because I feel the same.
Exactly.
And
I knew that was coming.
And I know that
you feel it a lot worse than I
married
do.
people, like you hear people joke, even with your first wife and your first wife, second special, you joked about pushing her down the stairs, right? Like how you're always behind that person.
Yeah, just like,
I don't
oh, I love you.
Yes.
It's an internal
I
fight.
never fantasize about killing you. I can proudly say that.
Good.
But I do fantasize about you sleeping for an extended period of time.
Like sewing my mouth shut like in a Saw movie. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
big,
right.
thick cord.
No,
Would you like to play a game?
'cause you- yes.
Plenty of tools.
Yes, it's a little more violent than I saw, but that is your childhood versus mine.
I'm sure if you sewed my lips shut, you would use a local anesthetic of some
Could we
sort.
cut? Let's just go back 10 minutes. I thought it was Arlie Ermy. Anyway, we can move on. Go back to voting. I totally side railed this whole podcast.
No, it's good to start out funny as opposed to what I usually do, which is beat it into the pulp. of just
I know, but
boring
some
and
people
bullshit.
just banged their foreheads off of their steering wheels as we were trying to figure out Arlie Ermy. We now know his name.
Early Army.
No.
That's what I said. Voting. So I was looking at it, and here's what again. I keep on the daily, the Republicans keep reminding me why I've decided to be a Democrat. It's because all they want to do is take shit away. I don't get, if they spent half as much time working on policy and fixing the problems than they do on voter suppression and trying to keep people from voting, they would have policies that you go, I consider that. Instead, all they do is they're just fucking pissed and pointing at shit, going, look. And now they're saying here's the border. They're mad at the border now because I guess once Biden became president, Mexico and any place south of Texas went, let's go.
Yeah, right.
I'm not happy about that.
I'm not happy either. That's not his fault because he's a fucking nice guy. It's not his fault. He didn't.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm waiting.
This is what I think the problem is. I think that in order to validate any argument that you had against Donald Trump, if you are then not as real about a Democratic president, then it undermines your arguments about Trump. And I think that you sort of held Trump accountable for everything that was happening underneath him at the border or anywhere else. And I think that we have to do the same thing with Biden. And I think that it's a problem. I think that it's messaging. Number one is why we got here. And number two, now it's lacking action. So
they're actually opening up a stadium to get them. I agree with you. I think that they need to move their fucking asses. They need to get, so you remember when COVID hit and they took all the stadiums and they put all the beds in them with the things? Why can't we do that for these immigrant kids and get them in there and and do it now?
Yeah.
I agree with you. By the way, there's no reason for some kid whose parents were so, to be honest, shitty. I know they wanted you to have a better life, but you said, by the way, just walk across Mexico and the cartels and cross the border.
I don't know if I agree with that assessment.
What do you mean? I get they want a better life, but how bad are those countries?
If you knew,
are they unimaginably bad? Is that what it is?
Some.
I'm a dumb guy.
I can tell you this. Our housekeeper Rosa Stone. She's my Rosa Stone. She teaches me Spanish. She just came back for the first time last week because she got her vaccination and.
So very white sentence. Our housekeeper Rosa. That's in the top 5 white sentences.
And I don't like Rosa to me is like a family member, and she doesn't clearly after COVID can't afford her. She comes once a month starting now. So she always did. Or twice a month. So anyway, she came back last week for the first time, and she personally had a family situation with her family in Mexico because of a young teenage girl that caught someone's attention walking to school, became targeted by the cartel. Because she fought back and then her brothers defended her and then became a target of the cartel. And I just think that there are some situations that we cannot identify with.
I would agree with that.
So
really, pasty-faced white guy?
Yeah.
No, I know I have no
guy
concept.
with housekeeper
and married to you? Yeah. No, I know how hard life can be. I got it.
And she's legal, by the way.
I got to replace a pool light.
You do.
Now, if I just got that's the level of my problem. This
Which
pool light's
I just want to
burnt
put out there to everyone because he might not be around a lot longer.
What? That sounds like a threat. Wait, just said she didn't want to kill me.
No, listen. We need the
cartel's
pool
not
light
after
replaced. We don't need it. We want it. It never worked when we bought the house. And so he went on YouTube, where all good information comes from, and found that you don't have to drain the pool or have a professional do it. You can just go underwater.
He's a dude.
With a scuba gear.
No, not even.
And
don't encourage this.
It has a sealant.
So
don't you like
it's a
having
waterproof.
a job to go to
there's a
right
tube.
now?
There's a tube from the light.
Because if he dies, I'm just going to sit in a field and
I've already disconnected all the electrical.
Tapioca. You're not going to get a paycheck from that girl.
Listen, because I'm not working. I can't afford to hire the guy. I can't. Me too. I can't afford to get the guy to come out and do it. So I'm going to do it, and I'm good at. You saw me.
You're very good,
cabin,
but underwater.
Electrical? This sounds horrible. Yeah. It sounds like everything wrong in a list.
If you get electrocuted, nothing will change. You'll still be just like Titus.
Actually, they electrocuted his mom, right? In the old days, and that's something that might actually bring him down. And then you still won't have a job because who wants to listen to him not charged?
As you said the other day, you'd be very happy if I was brought down.
I would be happy?
Yeah. I mean, like not with a dart, but I mean, if I was
Not dead.
Like
Yeah.
old school lobotomy.
I'm a lot.
Is it- oh.
I was told I'm a lot. I get it. I'm a lot, and I get it. 100%.
I actually said, did I say a lot or
Extra.
extra?
Yeah, I'm a lot
He's
extra.
which he
So-
then said is what the kids on TikTok say. It was during an argument.
You're on
That
top
was
of
his
things. That's
retort.
My also retort was when I met you, our first date, I rapped Pussy
That's a good
Control
point.
out loud. I've always been extra. I've
yes.
never
Right.
I've never been
a good point.
smooth or calm.
We've had an argument this week, if you can't tell. He likes to share it with everyone, and so
I did it in a funny way.
you did. I'm amused.
Good. I can tell.
Zoom in
And then
on
she
that
said, she's all brink.
No, actually, you did.
What?
Thank you.
What was
Extra.
What was I just talking about?
God only knows what we've been talking about, but
Pool electrocution.
So we don't
the pool.
understand. So they're sending. Yeah, the
Rosa,
pool.
Rosa.
Rosa.
I just so the pool, just so no one knows, I'm gonna, because I know there's people listening and I go, dude, don't fucking do. I disconnected the electrical. You got to pull the cord out, take the light off while it's in the pool.
Why'd you bring this up though? What was the?
Because that was our level of pain.
Of disconnect.
Yes.
Of
Yeah, we're talking about
Yes.
these kids are walking
Right.
1,400 miles
Yes.
to get
And
to a
he's-
That was
country
my point.
to get to a
Yes.
country
Okay.
where they may have the
Yes.
shittiest job we'll never have to work.
That's why-
and possibly survive as opposed to getting killed in their own cities.
That's why
And
I disagreed with shitty
yeah.
parent
No,
assessment. From
I
you.
totally retract my sentence.
I would.
I
That's how-
apologize now.
That's the kind of mom my mom was. My
But-
mom was always sacrifice herself to save us. I know you guys didn't experience that so much, but that
here-
was my mom.
So here's what happened. He dismantled Trump. You can look this up. Trump dismantled the entire system. There was immigration bills that were presented to Mitch McConnell in the Senate, and they sat on his desk. Nothing even got voted on. And now, here's what happens. It's like the fucking Republicans set it on fire. They set our entire immigration system on fire, then walked away and went, hey, man, dude, your house is burning. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
What were they talking about today? Because we were watching C-SPAN, and they were saying that there were actually
We've lost
two
our
bills that
There was two-
Republicans did introduce that
Right.
Democrats refused to even deal with. What and
They just
as
shut-
I was listening to that, I was thinking, how would Democrats have had any power because we
Yeah,
were
they
in the
didn't.
minority?
They didn't.
What were they
That sounds like a
talking
Mitch
about?
McConnell move.
Well,
This was in the House.
What?
They were
Republicans
talking.
made shit up? Hold on. Wait, what?
Oh, okay. Right.
No, they could have passed it too. They passed everything else. They passed a $1.9 trillion tax cut for the rich people, and they could have had anything they wanted. But there was a stack on Mitch's desk like this. So now to bitch about it, and just so you know, the Biden administration needs to get on it. I agree with you. Get on it. Get those kids, and their parents. There's a lot of this is happening though. Families are getting back together. They've tracked down about 100 kids, and they got their,
it's
their
like
parents.
almost 600, right? But they
But they're doing
it's a lot
it.
of work. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, can you imagine the detective work? And those people had to go
to
back
find
to
people who were hiding.
Right. Yeah, exactly. In a country that we don't really know
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
I thought this whole thing, this all being in the news, was all the Republicans saying, "See, we needed a wall. See,
They
Trump
are.
was
They
right."
did say
Oh,
that
today.
today. on
I thought it was
C-SPAN.
all for that. Like, oh,
Kevin
look, they're
McCarthy said there were only a few miles left to complete. And yet we know that how many miles total?
Kevin McCarthy goes, we were almost done. There's only a few miles left to complete. And I'm like, bro, so 460 something miles got built. 80 of those were new. The rest was replacement. It's 1,940 miles long. Almost done, motherfucker? Really?
oh my god,
I just looked it up on BBC. It says that
to convert
actually
it.
452 miles
Kilometers.
in total,
Yep.
according to the latest U.S. Customs and Border Protection information.
Yeah, 452. 80 of those are new.
That's including, you're right.
80
Only
of those.
80 miles of
new
new
wall.
barriers have been built where there were none before.
1.9
That includes 47 miles of primary wall and 33 miles of secondary wall built to reinforce the initial barrier.
Is it 15 billion? Some crazy number?
Yeah, and 18 billion.
$18 billion. And the
But
fucker built.
we know also that they did fundraising for funding the wall, and then Bannon stole it. Who he gave it to, some of it we don't know yet. Bannon was indicted, and Trump pardon him.
But this is what bothers me. So Bannon and his cronies get together. They do this thing called Wall for America. They do a GoFundMe because they couldn't get the wall funded as much as they wanted. They raised $10 million, and then Bannon kept $1 million of it, and they caught his ass on a yacht, and then he got away with it.
Do you know he still was saying in the November 3rd election that Mexico is paying for it? I guess I missed that. This is BBC
When did he say it?
reporting this
When did he say it?
November 3rd election up until he said the direct quote is Mexico is paying for it at his rally. Mexico's paying for it. All you have to do is say it and it's real.
But here's the thing.
A few
I
more
lost
miles.
Okay.
10 pounds during COVID.
I currently weigh 172.
Wow. Me too.
Oh, and I can bench 420 pounds.
No,
Yeah.
I can't.
I
So
can't.
you could bench me is what you're saying. Hey, you guys, look.
Alpha chick, yay!
Hey, if you're listening in your car, it's the new shirt that's available on my website.
Alpha chick, the anarchy symbol, which is awesome.
let's close that
Anarchy
up.
for feminism.
And some ransom letters.
Anarchy against the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Which I texted him. I asked him to put it on the website, and then I said unisex sizing, and he goes, "There's a joke in there somewhere."
Yeah, there definitely is.
patriarchy,
By the way,
so
everybody
unisex
everybody
sizes.
can wear it. We don't.
But this is a Christopher Titus original design, like they all are.
You don't have to blame me for stuff.
Blame you. I think it's great.
I like
Yeah, it
it
looks
too.
great.
Talking
I
about
liked it.
he likes
Yeah.
it a lot
There's
too.
some things I would have done different. So I'm saying I like it. It's fine.
It's good. Actually, a good
Just-
shirt. I love the anarchy symbol. It took me a minute to talk you into that too. And then
It
you
did.
saw it, and you were like, "Oh, that okay, I get it."
Well, I was trying to do a 70s one with a rainbow that you got Ken working on.
It was killer.
And then they were like 7,000 colors.
I
This
drew
is
a
going to be
van.
$55 a shirt.
Show me that too.
I
That
did a
looked great.
70s van. I
like that graphic
We
you
went
did.
out of our way to make this cool graphic, and the guy goes, "How many colors? It's going to be $40 a shirt."
Yeah.
Fuck. All right.
So then you went back to this and you sent it to me in different colors. And I said, can you do red and white and black? And you did. And then it's got a real Sex Pistols vibe. I really like it. You did a really great job. And I don't think it, needs much change. You want to change the artwork, but I think it's
I don't
cool.
want to change it at all. It looks awesome. It's
It
awesome.
does look awesome. He is killing my butt.
I'm not killing your buzz. Speaking of,
By the way, those were compliments for you
thank you. Speaking
from us.
Speaking back
Tell
to
him.
You're being too overcritical, like getting past the point of like,
hey man,
she
that
knows
looks me for a long time.
just as cool.
I'm pretty specific about what I like, and I love that. It's great. That even it took me a minute to talk you into it. I had to show her Sex Pistols posters and stuff, and then
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh yeah, well, because you had the '70s. It's not because you didn't think it was good. It's because you had the '70s thing in your mind. And you ever do that? You ever pick it? That's what I want.
You're
That's what I'm
diverting
gonna have."
again. Accept
No,
your compliment.
I'm a genius. The
Okay.
van I drew, I fucking drew a van that was killer.
The van is really cool. We're going to use on the website. I also, these are available, the 2021.
This podcast brought to you by Titus
COVID
Merchandise.
ball.
Buy t-shirts.
But this is my favorite part because it's so relevant to right now.
Yeah, now let's invent a vaccine for stupid.
These are available on ChristopherTitus.com.
Go get those, guys. Those are our commemorative New Year's t-shirts, but also 2021. I mean,
love this.
Hylinder did this logo, man, and I just love the.
You did this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like it.
Sex Pistols are gonna
it's
use
not
it
what
for
I had in mind.
Oh my
It's-
god!
You need to blame me.
It's-
Sorry, I didn't get it at
Jesus
first.
Christ, I can't
I don't
even
really
believe
get
this.
things. And
Voting.
I hate both of you. Go ahead, voting.
Bring
Carry
up the
on.
HR1 thing.
I did.
We had a segue, and then we got off on the shirt thing. There was a segue. You were talking about immigration.
Yeah.
So the immigration thing, they killed the Voting Rights Act. They killed it. It's over. There was one thing in that the Supreme Court ruled against that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was like, "Holy shit, you guys just destroyed it," and they did. And now we have people. You have to understand this. We had the most voting ever percentage-wise. In 100 years, the biggest percentage of Americans voted. 160 million, maybe plus, voted. As we found out in the Armageddon update, there was only the Heritage Foundation, the right-wing Heritage Foundation, found there was only 1,314 or 1,317 instances of voter fraud. A lot of those Republicans. There were 12 votes that a Democratic guy had harvested, and he'd filled them out. He's going to jail. Of the 1,300, 1,134 are doing time for doing it. So
And I just want to be clear about the Heritage Foundation. I know who they are because I have family members who get paid
Contribute.
by them, who are very conservative and who might say on OAN that we have widespread voting fraud. And now I heard this Heritage Foundation thing today, and I'm thinking that might be a conflict of interest. Heritage Foundation is extremely conservative. So this is a big deal that it's not, Esquire putting it out
Right.
or
Yeah. The Atlantic,
Hill or
the Atlantic,
yeah.
right.
So it's a big deal.
Huffington Post.
Right. So
Right.
thinking, who's
There
the
was
most-
only one voter fraud, and it was a mistake.
Also, the largest voter fraud that we have experienced in the last decade was Republican, and it was in North Carolina, and it actually spurred an entirely new congressional election. Do you remember that?
That was the guy that was going around and taking ballots. He was harvesting ballots. He was taking ballots and then refilling them out, fill them out for who he wanted. And they were using. He was getting paid. He actually was a consultant that got paid.
You can go and watch the court hearings online. It's really interesting.
So it's bullshit. So there's no voter fraud yet. We have 257 bills have been introduced in the states that basically it's shit like if you live in this district you can't vote. They're cutting souls to the polls. They're cutting Sunday voting.
Can't give people in line drinks
You
or
can't-
food.
if you
What the
give-
fuck is that?
If you give someone a bottle of water,
That's illegal, fucking
that's
bottle of water,
illegal.
you
Yes,
It's
motherfuckers.
because you're trying to, it's like
Influence their
pay to
vote.
play. You're giving them something to influence their vote. If I give you this water, you're going to vote for Donald Trump now.
So my, you
Right?
can't do that either. You can't do that. What you just you can't do that.
I'm so
at all.
thirsty.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't.
so thirsty. I'm going to vote Republican.
Exactly. Oh, thank God.
The person that's
Someone gave me a Triscuit.
the person that's already waiting in line in the hot sun
Yep.
because they're so
Still
desperate.
hasn't made their mind up.
Yeah.
You know, if someone gave me some sort of nosh or a snack, I may go their way.
Exactly.
What kind of base level horror show do you believe that you're actually going to change your vote because someone gave you a cookie?
Now, if
And
it's
the
Trump
other-
water, with
Yeah,
the Trump branded
yeah,
water,
no.
then
The other thing is that you would have to also expect that it would go both ways, right?
Uh-huh.
Like that you and I could stand out there and give people water and say, Joe Biden is awesome, right? Like
Right.
why Republicans are always the ones that are afraid of anyone having their vote influenced in any way, whereas Democrats, it seems like we're just like, no, whatever.
Everybody.
We just want more
Vote, vote,
access.
vote.
We want everyone.
So that's
Yeah.
the difference. That's what I'm saying is that and that's what the last line of the Armageddon update was. If you guys spend as much time legislating and fixing shit,
trying to fight the public.
you guys had 4 years. Infrastructure Week never came. Healthcare bill never hit. You motherfuckers don't do anything. There was no legislation passed except for giving rich people more money. And what bothers me is that all the Republicans want, and again, I've had now, 12 years of kind of being immersed in this through Obama. They don't do anything. They bitch and point their fingers. And like right now on the border, now what they were in charge of 4 years ago that went horribly sideways, now they're pointing at Biden, but they don't have a plan. They had 4 years to fix it and came up with zero.
They just undo progress and pull it back.
They want to go back. And that's why
Well, that's okay. So let's talk about that for a second, because I do get that acknowledging that there is a problem at the border.
Yes.
I 100% think that there is a problem at the border,
during Obama and Clinton too.
but they don't suggest or draw up bills for a resolution.
Right.
They just point fingers and blame and yell about it. I was listening when I was putting on my makeup today, and I could always tell when a Republican was talking because it was very, whereas Democrats would get up and they would be like, and then we go to do it. And I just, like Jim Jordan, I finally walked
so
out and I
strident.
said, why
Argumentative
does he have to talk like that? No one was arguing and he was argumentative. And that's the thing. Then give us a solution. This was my issue today. I came out and gave him a speech that he didn't really listen to. He was tweeting.
I listened to it. I wasn't tweeting. I was actually trying to write the damn Armageddon update.
Sew up your mouth and your thumbs.
There are outliers for every argument, right? In every argument, you could find something to prove your side. You could find something to prove
One,
your
two
side.
things, right.
Voter fraud here. Whatever it is.
1,300 cases.
Transgender guy,
Wrestled.
original man wanted to
There's an example
do
for everything.
female sports.
Yep.
Right. But it's not the majority. And so to argue based on those outliers is
Disingenuous, number one.
Yeah, it's disingenuous.
Untruthful.
And that's what I told him, that these people, they are grown adults. They are elected. They are better than us because we elected them have more sound reasoning, to come to solutions better than we ever could.
Yep.
That's why we elected you, to be able to be problem solvers instead of get up and do your grand stage yelling,
you said
media moment.
You said it best. You said they're going for likes. I mean, we got Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, Jordan's doing it. We got Matt Gaetz. We got these. We've got
MTG. It's the Tommy Lawrence. MTG. I told him today she wore a mask to be filmed in the House a couple days ago that said this mask is as useless as Joe Biden. Imagine being an elected official underneath a president. He's your president that you are serving under, that we elected you to serve under, and wearing a mask, something like that. I don't, from either side, I don't like it.
Yes, because do you remember when Trump gave his first State of the Union and Nancy Pelosi stood up behind him and ripped the fucking paper? It's the same thing. It's
be
like,
grown-ups.
Guys, what the fuck? Come on.
That's what I mean.
But look, on that day, I was like, yeah, fuck this guy. But then I looking back and I'm like, yeah, you didn't.
It's the same thing.
Right,
yeah.
but and I think we're all tired of it. I'm tired of it too. And Biden should get to listen. We're in the middle of COVID. The stadiums aren't being used. Let's fucking pop these kids in these stadiums and pay what we got. But let's get it handled. If you said you can handle it differently, handle it differently. I just want to be fair about it. They got handed a system that was on fire, though.
But let me ask you, do you do nothing? Do you continue to, as many kids that people can ship across the border, do you just keep opening stadiums house them? I mean, how do you deal with that?
But that's what I'm saying. He's been in, what, 10 weeks? He's been in 10 weeks. He had to take this. They stopped the asylum program. They broke the Trump. Look what they did to it. They broke everything down. Zero. They broke it all down. So now they have to put it all back in place. They have to get and there was an article yesterday where the Border Patrol is actually still going by Trump's policies. They're just like, no, fuck it, we're going to do it. And so they're in trouble too. What we need to do, honestly, because here, the immigration, people keep getting this thing that immigration is so easy to fix. Let's go back to Reagan. Reagan gave, people forget this, 11 million people amnesty. Reagan said no, the only way, and let's be clear again, illegal immigrants that work here pay $63 billion in taxes. So
more than our CEOs.
I'm not saying, more than Exxon.
Right.
So,
Amazon.
But all I'm saying,
Carnival.
and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I mean, you should be here legally. We are surrounded by countries that don't take care of their people, Canada included. You guys, that poutine is going to kill everybody. But Canada's a good country.
It's not even good. Can we just be honest? I know this is
It looks good, though.
It's a hot take. It's controversial.
No, but it looks good with the cheese and the.
It's not. I
cheese
mean,
curds?
don't at me. I don't want to hear it. It's weird, clumpy, bland, gray gravy and clumps of cheese that doesn't melt. Like, it's not good.
Sounds
Let's be
odd.
honest.
I'm sorry.
Just put some truff in there.
a little
You're all
truff, man.
set.
Boom. Boom.
Dude, we don't even have the ad this week, but they just sent us 2 flavors of the mayonnaise. We're not even mayonnaise eaters. Ken.
You said 2, right?
No.
So
one black truffle.
That was my response, by the way.
One black truffle and then one spicy
Tell you
truffle.
what I'm gonna do.
Totally
I
different.
ain't bringing you the bottle, but I'll make you a sandwich. I'm gonna bring you a sandwich one day.
It is
I thank you, Sam.
okay. Oh, okay. All right.
We're not even. Don't advertise.
I'll
people.
do this for you. I'll do this for you. They sent us some of the pasta sauce, which is freaking stupid. I know I have not.
Why are we giving them an ad?
I'm just because we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
We will bring him a jar of the. It
Pasta
is.
sauce, yeah.
Boom.
It's
Perks.
crazy. I told him I actually could just eat it out of the jar.
Yeah, well,
It's stupid.
again, you can take Costco pasta, which is fine at Kirkland.
I know, but I hadn't
and all of a
tried it
sudden
when
you're
we
like- all
talked
of a
about
sudden
it
you're
last
like,
time.
welcome to the 5-star restaurant.
It's crazy when you can get out of.
Just so you know
when
that
you can get vaccinated.
This is how good we like this.
Yeah, there's no ad.
There's no ad today.
But I
This is
am going
legitimately
to tell Cindy that she needs to tell them. When you are vaccinated and you're able to finally date, you poor sad boy, you're going to get some of this truff pasta sauce and some
Whip up some-
gluten-free shells
teach you how
because
to
you don't
make-
want to give the lady
Make their
gluten.
arugula salad. You'll teach them how to make their arugula salad.
And I'm not going to tell her about my secret.
No,
secret.
you are going to make
Wait till you see
dinner.
this.
Yeah, this women love this head move. What the fuck's wrong with him? Was he Parkinson's? Why is he doing it? What's wrong with him?
Why is he stirring
Captain
sideways?
Hibernation.
It's like side saddle stirring. Like
By the way, that is not the best look. Hello, I'm whipping him dinner off to my left.
I'm not on stage with like a cooking show. Oh, then we're gonna do this,
how small is your apartment?
right?
Immigration, though, it is a problem. It is a problem, and it's been going on since before. I mean, but Reagan gave 11 million people amnesty.
I know, but this doesn't matter.
But I'm just saying, it kind of went away for a minute. We had people, and then it just goes again. We have a
I'm
lot
just
of.
saying you're doing it again.
No,
because
I'm not.
you don't want to.
No, Clinton couldn't handle it either. I'm saying it's a big problem. Trump tried to shut it down. It didn't work. Do you know why? Because 60% of all illegal immigrants come in on a plane. So unless you build that wall
And they're white,
35,000 feet high, it ain't going to work. And also, I love the videos when they show the new wall, and two 14-year-old kids go over it in 11 seconds. You're like,
Right. Oh,
bro,
yeah, that.
Is that? That's not. You couldn't even call somebody to get them to stop them. They're in El Paso running.
Didn't somebody just drive through it, like with just like a regular Ford
No,
Explorer?
they did a ramp.
Oh, they ran. Okay,
and
so
then
there you go.
Click down.
There are
I mean,
ways.
When you're trying to save your own life, yes, you figure out ways. Also, El Chapo, famous for tunneling.
Yeah,
Famous.
Why don't we just build a big like tunneling back, and they just fall in and then go back?
So-
A slide,
Just like,
like a McDonald's slide.
There you go. We should install. Yeah, we need a border slide.
they come
There's
in.
a hole, and they fall into it,
Border.
and they spin down, and then they shoot.
Yeah, they
right
shoot.
To America. Tijuana. What happened?
What happened?
This looks just like.
Hello?
But you can't. I guess I don't know. I could picture if Trump had been elected again, me trying to sneak into another country.
You already were. When Trump, before the election, we started getting emails on the
I
website
did do
email,
this.
Titus CWI, thanking him for his interest in relocating to Australia. Attached is a spreadsheet of the fees for shipping freight to Australia. We will help you find a place to live, but there are a lot of hoops to jump through for immigration.
I was actually looking. Looking at homes and everything.
We didn't discuss it. I just found out in the
Google
email.
told you.
Yes.
Like,
You
your
actually found
husband.
out- you actually found out recently. I was doing that in like August or September.
Fucking AI.
Because the lady wanted to know if we were still interested.
But I also didn't. But I also was going to wait till it was viable. I was trying to make sure it was viable, and you know that because you're not someone who I could just bring up a wild plan to. I've learned over the years. Hey, let's do this. Wee, and you go, how's it going to work? I don't know. Wah!
You're not really an I don't know plan guy anyway, though.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to make sure in Australia would have been fine, and
According to you, though, you said I'm white and I can't even get through immigration in Australia.
I did it as a yes. Yeah. Exactly. They were like, nope. They went American. No. Hey, mate, you ain't making it here. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. With how we've shown up the last 5 years,
Nobody wants us.
Nobody wants us.
Nobody. Even Mexico, they closed the borders to us during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that's pretty bad.
Right.
Canada, do you want us? Can we could go. I could live in Canada for sure. I loved Canada.
Voting, for God's sake. I want to get this done.
Could you relocate?
No.
Ever? Never. You never
No.
could because of Wyatt's mom and everything.
Yeah.
So you're going to die here.
Jeez.
It's
I
getting
guess
darker
so.
all the time. I don't.
Do you need help with your pool?
Every
'Cause
week.
Yes.
It's just.
Do you mind? We need you to go underwater. Pull some
You're going to
water.
die here anyway.
So I
So
actually started looking, honestly, because you like a colder climate. I started looking at places around the country, and we know a lot of comics that left during COVID, and I can't. Man, I love California, and I have to admit, California's getting shaky, especially LA. Man, the homeless problem's getting insane. This restaurant we go to, it's a vegan restaurant, very California of me to say, but we eat there once in a while because I'm not Orthodox. And the parking lot across the street, which used to be for buses and the MTA, is now a camp. It's a homeless camp. And I have to say, our mayor is not doing his job, man. Our mayor, Garcetti, is not doing his job. That's what people don't get about me. You know, for the last 4 years, I have gone after Trump pretty hard. But The problems are the fucking problems.
Yeah.
And whoever's
Yeah.
in charge, bro, that's your problem.
Yeah.
We elected you to fix this problem. I don't care if you're a Democrat. It's your fucking problem. Mayor Garcetti has blown it. Gavin Newsom, on the other hand,
Oof.
he's got the recall thing going on.
I just saw an interview of him with Jake Tapper a couple days ago. It was I felt very uncomfortable.
Was Jake going after him?
Yeah, he was being a reporter like he should with both sides.
Good.
And he wouldn't let him get by on things. And it was weird to see Gavin Newsom cowed. And so the recall and bitter. So the recall, he just kept saying over and over that of course they're taking it seriously because now it's happening. It's going to be on the ballot in November. And
Really?
but his bitterness arises out of them getting a judge to grant them an extension for the
get the
length of
signatures?
time to get the signatures, which shouldn't have been done.
We've done it before.
But they've never gotten that extension, and I'm just like, dude, if people don't want you there, but he suddenly became the big unattractive girl that no one wanted to invite to the prom.
what? It's not fair. What's
Yeah.
going on? I was elected and now they want it. I'm not doing
And
my
I've
job.
been that girl, by the way. 6 feet
She-
tall in middle school.
Yeah, when you were
That's what you think.
7 or 9. Yeah,
And
after
my
that,
mom liked to tape giant roses, silk flowers to the top of my head for a dance. And so I've been that girl. I'm not judging. But yeah, it was weird to watch. He was not cocky. And then he kept nailing him about that dinner that he went to, remember?
yeah, but
During
that's
COVID.
another thing we do on both sides. So we do something, whether it's Trump doing his thing where no one wore a mask and people got really sick. I think that's a valid outcome. And I went after him hard. Gavin Newsom to fucking shut down California and then go hang out with friends at a restaurant. It's just fucking bad
Yeah, it's fucking
optics.
stupid.
Do you know what he did
Bro.
though that I
Stupid.
didn't
Bro.
like? His response instead of just he said I've apologized multiple times, Jake. Interesting that this is coming up again. So already I was like, oh, okay, you're gonna be a dick about it. Got it. And he goes, it was my friend, of 25 years. It was his 50th birthday. Excuse. And restaurants were open though, Jake. I don't know if you know that. They were open. And but there was a limit to number of people at a table, and when I realized that there were going to be more than 6 people at the table, I should have left. And I was like, well, that wasn't really the whole issue.
But no, yeah, but so here's what we've lost our fucking minds. We have not had a politician with integrity in a long time. Like someone who just went, you know what, Jake? I know you're bringing it up again. I've
Yeah.
apologized repeatedly. Let me say one more time.
Yeah.
I was dead wrong. Should not have gone out.
Yeah.
I've got people locked in their houses, and I think because I'm the governor, I can go out.
That's insane.
That's
Yeah.
insane and out of line. And I've learned my lesson about that.
And it's a decision that a very privileged white man would make as the governor of a state.
Right.
That would have
I've
been
used my
amazing to
power.
hear those two things.
Yeah.
And that would just be in the past. That might have been. I guess I can't say the past because I don't know the past. But because every time I watch something old on TV about old politics, I'm like, we've been assholes forever.
Oh yeah, they're super
Like-
shiesty. They're even worse.
When I was doing this stuff on the voting thing, I was like, wow, this stuff, like it's so great. All men are created equal. As long as you're white and got land.
I'm the
That's-
Wikipedia queen. Whenever I don't know if we've talked, aren't I?
We do this thing now, yeah, on the road.
Any time any conversation comes up, I want to know more about it. I can tell you all about bears and hibernation. It's really fascinating. You know, some bears hibernate for 9 months out of the year. It's crazy. They're not really asleep. We'll get to that later. Anyway,
And when they wake up, they have abs.
no
Right? They do a lot of long fasting. That's what I need to do.
sleep for 9
Yeah.
months.
hairy
Anyway, one of the people that we looked up recently, you were driving, I looked up Nancy Reagan. And Nancy Reagan is really held up as this, sweetheart of America, good values, good Christian woman, and she was, I don't mean that, but there was this whole side story about how much she loved fashion and she loved the gowns that she would get to wear. And she had started to accept gifts of these really expensive
$15,000,
gowns.
$20,000
from
dresses.
designers.
Wow.
So they told her, you can't do that. Legally, you can't accept these kinds
And
of
she said,
monetary
okay.
gifts. And she
And
said-
then
kept doing it.
kept them. She not only didn't send them back, she said, "Oh, I won't do that anymore." Kept them and got more.
Say no
And
to
then
drugs, but
later- yes,
bring on
and
these
then
dresses.
Later, after his presidency ended, it came out that she had kept all of them, and she did later issue an apology.
And that's how Giovanni Versace became Secretary of State. See, that's what I'm just saying. Is there's nothing like that stupid
it was
shit.
just so weird. Like,
Yeah,
why?
you can't take. But then, and then you look at every other administration. Like, Wilbur Ross became the coal guy, became Secretary of the Interior, the guy who has coal mines because
Yeah.
he's Trump's buddy. It would be so good if we had any politician with integrity. At least Biden. Someone said it on Twitter. They said, listen, they all suck. I'm going to stand in that. But at least the Democrats aren't actively trying to do evil.
Yeah.
They seem to be, grandma got a check. You know? And I'm just saying that there's people right now, in 10 weeks, he's got more done than Trump got done in 4 years.
I would argue, though, if you had someone that actually did have integrity and was honest, they're not going to get elected because it's not as interesting or salacious as someone who has scandals and
What about
denies
Reverend
them
Warnock
and-
and John Ossoff?
I really like
in Atlanta.
Senator
Warnock, they played Warnock.
That's a good example. You're right.
Talking about the voter. No, I think we're tired. I think we had crazy. I think we got complacent. We had Obama was a decent guy. Like him or hate him is fine. As a human being, he's a good human being. Family man, loves his daughters. Did what he thought was best for America. Got Bin Laden. I can go down the list of shit he did, and he got handed a shit show. Even Clinton. Clinton was a total fuck up to his own personal life, and I think there was some shady stuff going on. But when it came to the country, he did his job. I would say Reagan did his job. He figured out a way to take the Soviet Union. I can take all the way back to Carter, which is where I remember. I can take all these guys down and go, here's our good side and bad side.
You can see them at least endeavoring to be good at their job and in the greatest interest of the people.
Right. I think at one
in
point,
hindsight, things like
even
NAFTA
W had his big problems, but I think in his heart, I don't think he was the smartest guy in the world, but in his heart, I think he was trying
Trump,
to do the
though,
best.
Aren't you excited when he comes on the TV screen? Like when they've done all the PSA for vaccinations with all the presidents except for Trump, or like at the inauguration when they showed, all of a sudden I was like, oh, it's George Bush.
It's W.
Oh, right. Yeah, George Bush. Right.
We're like, we hated him.
Like,
Mission accomplished, you dumbass. Now he's like,
You're
he's my
amazing.
buddy.
Yeah.
It's cute now.
But we've never had, and I watched him today on C-SPAN, and I shouldn't do. I actually realized 20 minutes and oh my God, I'm watching C-SPAN. I've become a 95-year-old man. And all you get is those guys yelling. They're trying to take voting rights away. They all voted, and this is the greatest one last week. They all voted against the stimulus. Okay, people are losing their homes. I mean, the homeless problem in the last year has gotten crazy in LA because people lost their homes. They lost their jobs. We have 9 million people out of work.
And don't raise the minimum wage.
Didn't
Fix homelessness,
Yeah.
but also don't raise the minimum wage.
Yeah, don't fucking change anything.
Yeah.
But fix it.
Yeah.
We're going to all vote no against it. These motherfuckers, they all put out statements. And Murkowski are like, just want you to know, this bipartisan plan that passed, whoa,
It's going to give my constituents a check and this
They all
and that,
claimed
and
it.
we're all,
You said no. You voted no.
Speaking of no,
Social media has changed.
this episode brought to you today by Harry's. No more bad, prickly legs and face. No more beard burn.
By the way, no more bad prickly face on your legs.
That's where my
That's-
brain
is
went
that-
also. So
Is that different than what I said?
it automatically-
I've had moments where I've heard ow and
Oh, yeah.
exfoliated?
Yeah. The face and the legs, both, in order for the twain to meet, need Harry's. So that's how we market this product.
You are sanding my knees.
by the way, we just sold 2 razors.
Yeah, exactly. We are using the new Harry's razors in the shower. We each have the new blades on there. Pretty amazing. I didn't think it could get any better, but it's pretty freaking awesome. They are doing one of my favorite deals right now that they've ever done. It's my favorite deal, number one, because the promo code is now Bombshell, so I'm super stoked about that. Thank you.
Bombshell.
You made it.
If you guys don't use the promo code, it has no power. So go use it.
Boom.
Right?
I like using Bombshells as a promo code. It's awesome.
I do too. They were tired of Titus promo code.
I'm tired of Titus. I've been with this asshole for 56 years.
Wow, 56. So right now, you can get the whole starter set, which we've shown before. You can get the 5-blade razor, the weighted handle, the foaming shave gel, the travel cover, and they're going to give you the body wash right now. It's travel size body wash. It's pretty big. You used that one for a long time.
Right.
And you pay $3. That includes shipping. That gets all
$3
of that
to get it to become a new
to get
member?
everything to you.
What?
$3? I know, and I don't know.
What are they
how
taking over the world? What are they doing?
Actually, they probably are taking over the world.
They've decided that they're just gonna like own all of it. That's crazy.
Let's say that they're so good, they put all the other razor companies out of business. Then it's only Harry's, right?
Yeah.
You could not be a politician and not shave, right? You could not. What else could you not do and not shave? You could not have someone's face intertwine with your legs and not shave. It's kind of necessary. It's a thing that after I do, I feel like a normal human being again.
Yeah.
I haven't needed that in a while, so
On
I can
all
see
the above. He
I
just
was
hasn't
going to
needed.
say none of it. What's happening over there?
Nah.
I'm so sad,
No?
and I'm laughing, but I'm sad.
Are you bitter? Or are you okay?
What?
Yes. Is he bitter? Have you
He
been
looks
sitting
mad.
across from him for a long time? Bitter. Holy shit. There's been things we haven't been talking about. He's like, yeah, but if you had bad, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. We haven't even talking
Really?
about I didn't say lesbian.
We're not even on the topic.
He does throw the word lesbian around
I said
a
Lizzie
lot.
Borden. He's like, yeah, lesbians. Whoa.
All right, I'll stop.
Anyway,
The movie Lesson Zero. Lesbians.
I heard
Zero.
Les.
What?
there's a new lesbian show coming out on Netflix, I think.
It's on Hulu. Okay.
Okay.
He knew where it was.
No.
Harry's, our favorite company that we have ever promoted. We use it like crazy. So right now, go get this deal. Use my promo code so that it has value.
Yeah, everybody. Okay, we've been with Harry's for 5 years now, something like that. About that.
Same blade.
Not one. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Not one person who has switched
Never.
has complained.
We've never
In
gotten
fact,
a
we
complaint.
always get this call, dude.
Why didn't I
Right.
switch
Yeah,
earlier?
why?
I should have listened earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't because you wanted me to. We get a lot of those, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
God, these people are just like us.
Yeah, because we're evil. Yeah. I ain't buying the hype,
When you told me to do it, I refused
not buying
to
the
do
hype
it.
at all.
Yeah,
No way,
that would be
bro.
us too.
bro.
That would be us. So we've never gotten a complaint. Everybody loves it. It's awesome company. I know some people have been writing in and telling me that there is a female version called Flamingo. I'm sure it's awesome too. I just
al-
use this one.
also
I
a gay
love
man.
this one.
That's
I've
also-
never tried that one
It's
yet.
also a gay man version of Flamingo.
Whatever. It's the same. Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, Flamingo. You want that? Yeah.
But the hair on you, whether you're sleeping with a guy.
No one's gonna know I shave with the Flamingo or the Harry's, right?
Why?
No one will
Anyway,
know.
we love this company. Go
Yeah.
get it. Harrys.com/bombshell. Or as Jay Moore says, it's just a slash bombshell.
Harry's face today. I want to finish a thought, which we don't seem to do on this podcast.
Act while
often.
supplies last.
Why do they want to stop? Listen, if you thought you should run the country, that would mean that you thought you had the best ideas to make the country work, right? So if you had the best ideas to make the country work for everybody, everybody would vote for you. That's what you're supposed to do as a leader, right? Well, if you had the best ideas and trusted those ideas as the best, why wouldn't you want everybody to vote?
They clearly don't.
They know
They don't want the best
HR
for the
1.
country.
Right.
Expands the ease and accessibility of voting. Under this bill, Americans would be automatically registered to vote when they apply for state services
So if you went to DMV or whatever,
or state services, food stamps, whatever.
food stamp,
Yep.
right? So you
Hold on, someone getting food stamps is going to vote?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So you're gonna vote. So you get to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, had you raised the minimum wage, we wouldn't be needing food stamps. But okay, right. So that's one policy. So okay, that's what it
And
does.
we wouldn't be so angry at you that you're scared that if we got to vote, that we would vote your ass out
Right.
like we
Well,
did in
I
Georgia.
get a long time ago. Here's what I
Mm-hmm.
understand: when the black people finally got the right to vote, slavery was right here. be like, I could see the
door
white guy
wasn't even shut.
Yeah, exactly. The white guy's like, well, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't let. What if they? You think they're mad? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be. think they're grumpy. Yeah, it's not good. Let's figure out a way to just slow this down.
Isn't that interesting that that's what originally happened?
Yeah.
And it's just perpetuating.
Yes.
It's just
It's hanging
a
on.
manner of being around voting for minorities that I don't even, I'm sure some of them, like Mitch McConnell, they realize what they're doing. But other Republicans coming up, that's just what Republicans do.
Yeah.
Also, they
Yeah, racism is
states
showing.
would be required to allow voters to register online.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2021.
So here's the thing. They keep talking about this. Oh man, you can't go online. Internet's. I fucking bank online.
Exactly.
Like everything.
Come on,
like,
man.
my medical stuff comes across online.
I know how many crosswalks are in that photo.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. Exactly. Those are buses. That's not a bus. That's a truck. Click. I am not a robot. God damn it. So I don't understand why everything banking money is fine online. There's all kinds of stuff that's online, but you
Everything's
can't
online now.
vote
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
If you had a password and registered, it would actually be better because you can't steal someone's computer. You can't. You have to know their
can't.
password.
What?
Wait, you have to know their passwords. If you can't go into hack into their account. What's the difference between going and taking a ballot
You're
out of someone's...
registering online. Yeah, you're not
Right.
voting.
But
online.
even voting online.
The legislation would implement universal voting by mail, which I've been doing for 10 years.
Right.
Most states have.
It was the Republicans' idea in Georgia. Now they want to kill it.
They do it in Florida. Donald Trump voted by mail for the last 12 years.
This last year he did.
Yes. They would provide at least 15 days of early voting for federal elections in every state. So you get 2 weeks before voting day for people whose jobs, because we don't require companies to give you the day off.
we don't
It's
have
not a
voting day.
federal holiday.
Right.
We used to take a day off for Christopher Columbus, who was fucking wrong
Yeah.
and racist.
We didn't want anybody to vote.
But we-
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But we can't take a day off so that people can get to the polls and vote, where they're going to have to wait 16 hours in line.
And especially in the showcase democracy in the world, that's what we call ourselves. We're supposed to be. I looked it up, man.
Used to.
We are really rare. People don't understand. The rest of the world doesn't do what we
Yeah.
do. The rest of the world doesn't have a revolution every 4 years and switch
Yeah.
the leader. They just doesn't. And so that we have that, you'd think it was important enough to actually take one day every 4 years or every 2 years, one day every 2 years to go. Everybody you got to go vote. But they don't want that. They don't.
Wherever possible, it would make polling places located adjacent to public transportation, wherever possible. There would be an effort made to make it close to public transportation.
So rich people could mail their ballot in, and poor people
Could ride public transportation.
Right.
It's the poor people they don't want voting.
Yep.
Well, that was interesting. This last election, or was it the 2016 election? Do you remember the polling place that got switched? It was that got taken. It was in town in Texas, small town, and they moved it 30 miles outside of town.
Oh, yeah.
On this 2-lane road in the middle of nowhere. So people.
It was called
could,
I Hate You Black People
Yeah.
County.
That was the town. That was the town. I hate you,
Brown
black people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would also include
called
new
Mexicans
campaign
Nope.
finance
Yeah, that was
measures, such as improved disclosures and small dollar matching. And the whole point of that would give voice to lower and middle income people to ensure that income inequality does not translate into political inequality. It would also ban here, and this is why, here it is right here, it would ban partisan gerrymandering and require the use of independent commissions to draw congressional districts. Mapping rules would be made consistent throughout the country. So everywhere they would be the same, and the public would have a chance to review the maps and comment before they are finalized, like a democracy.
Can't have things fair.
Right.
Districts that heavily favor one party could become competitive again, and each side would be incentivized to win a broad majority of voters, not simply a vocal sliver of primary
Wait a minute.
voters.
They would have to come up with ideas that actually work for the people and get elected on merit, as opposed to a gerrymandered district that looks like Donald Duck giving a high five,
Yes.
or a Heil Hitler, depending on the district.
Depending on the angle.
So explain, because this has been something you've talked about for a while, gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering. So basically what they do is they'll find, let's say there's a neighborhood. In every town, there's good and bad neighborhoods. The shops in North Hollywood, not the best neighborhood right now. So, but let's say there was one part like on the hill that was just all rich people. So the Democrat guy in that district, they would actually gerrymander it. So the district literally went up the hill, a street wide on either side, and then over the hill up to the view area. So his entire district would be only the rich white people and none of the other people he's supposed to take care of. So what would happen was, then all the white people would vote for that guy, and that guy would win the district. Even though the difference in representation would be, let's say there's 600 rich white people and there's 6,000 poor brown people not being represented because the way the district's
If you go online and you look at the lines, the way districts are drawn,
crazy.
it's like...
That's in real estate too. That's like what's redlining? Isn't that what it's called?
Yes.
Yes,
Same thing.
But they don't want this. And this is something Mitch McConnell has really fought against.
Why? Because, so again, we're back to this. So they want to actually stop black and brown people from voting. They actually want to not fix gerrymandering, so it's just fair.
But
there
here's what
it is.
stood
That's it. GOP doesn't want it fair.
Right.
That's it.
And that's what I was
Let's just break
about
it down.
to say.
They just fucking don't want it fair.
If you listen to that section of what I said, they would ban partisan gerrymandering, require the use of independent commissions. Mapping rules would be consistent. I'm accentuating
country.
the words. Independent, consistent throughout the country. And the people would have a chance to review the maps and comment before they could be finalized.
So they have to fight so they keep an advantage.
Yeah.
They need an advantage.
Yeah.
Because they don't have an idea.
Right.
If you had it, guys, this
That's what it would require. They would be incentivized
To work.
fight to win their vote.
you
Yes.
then would have to come up with programs and policies that would fucking work.
They have ideas, but those ideas, they are racist at
Yep.
their heart. And they want those ideas to be the ideas of the country.
Right.
That's it.
But they're not. And what they don't understand is it's not getting better. I think Trump, I don't think it's the last bastion. I think it's the first it's the beginning of the end of white supremacy. We have some stuff coming that's going to be bad. And I think there's going to be, the next two elections are going to be rough. I think there's unless
baffled.
It does feel like they're trying to pick a fight.
This whole white supremacy.
That's all they want,
thing,
though. They
and
do best
I
when
keep
they fight.
thinking I'm so confused why it's reared its ugly head again, and yet then I think, okay, it can't be just rearing itself. It must have always been there.
just
And
Trump just opened the door. He knocked the block off.
I'm so confused by that. Like,
Just rolled the window down and all the voices were heard.
yeah.
like the only like Mahogany, who will be here this Saturday for my special happy
the way, guys-
the happy hour after the show. Mahogany and Janine, who were both part of the first time the video that we did about the first time they were called the N-word, and Amber. So 3 of my favorite girlfriends will be here. But if you sat me next to Mahogany, the only difference, this is why I can't fathom it. Well, the only difference would be she works harder and is more successful. But if you cut us open, we're exactly the same. We are the same. That's my sister.
I can prove it.
She has a little more melanin in her skin. What is the freaking difference?
When I proved it. By the way, in my new show I'm writing right now, Going to the Dentist, they yanked my tooth out, and to fill it, to put the post in, they have to use cadaver bone.
Right.
They didn't give me a menu to pick. Oh, white guy. Can I get white guy cadaver bone?
You know there are some KKK people that would think of that.
Someone pointed out that Oz did an episode where basically one of the guys had dental thing, and he had a dental thing where they used cells from a black guy, and they got kicked out of the white supremacy gang.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So basically, cadaver bone is cadaver bone. Someone.
Right.
This is going to be a joke in the next special. My jaw has more ethnic diversity than the Trump administration, right? or Connecticut. So we've actually, there is no difference.
Right.
There's
I know.
we're the human race. Period.
Well-
and yet
physically there's no difference. I just want to be clear that there's a great difference in what she has to experience in the world versus what I do, even given
I'm just
how
biologically.
biologically, even given how highly she has achieved, the bullshit that she puts up with on a daily basis that she tells me, go, if you don't think there's racism or you don't think it's a big problem or you think we're being Democrats by, virtue signaling, go make some black friends. I would bet if you think that, you don't have any. And
ask them what is your life like on a daily basis.
you don't have to ask. If you're friends with them, you hear about it. And you and I sometimes hear things where we are just blown away.
On a night of drinking at about 11:15 at our house when the party, it always shifts.
do always go to racism
At one
talk.
point, I talked to Chris. I go, dude, why does it always come to this? I'm not upset about it because I usually start it.
Yes,
but
you do.
they start telling stories, and I just want to know. I want to know, and it's only because I've said it before many times. Every comic I toured with that was a black guy, holy shit, the stories are harrowing. Shit that never happened to me.
But you want to understand the inexplicable. There is no, it's like we want to make sense of it, and there is no sense of it. And so that's what I was saying. I
You're not
I don't
supreme.
understand why. Yeah, I certainly don't.
The
I'm
supreme
not at all
race
supreme.
could handle sunlight.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, let's
We're
start
already
fucking
deficient.
there.
I have melanoma.
Yes.
I really
You're
Me
not,
too.
Do
you're
you?
not
Yeah.
supreme.
Yes.
Air high five on that.
Yeah.
If I'm in the sun too long, I get that weird pregnant. They call it the pregnancy mask.
The
Do
supreme
you get the pregnancy
race
mask too?
wouldn't fuck its sister. The supreme.
Well, I don't do
race.
that, and
No,
as far
I'm
as I
just
know.
saying that, like, when you break down the guys who are claiming that they're the supreme race, the guys at the Capitol, no, there's not an
No.
example.
I think we could end today's podcast. He has melanoma too. I finally feel
Mm-hmm.
seen. I've never known anybody else that had melanoma.
Yeah, I have.
Isn't that cancer?
I have scars.
Oh, they ripped it off?
Yeah, well, and I had
actually burned it off?
biopsies done, and I have 2 lymph nodes
I
missing.
said melanoma.
Wow, you really
That's
they went
not
after
what
your
I
lymph
meant.
nodes?
I didn't mean melanoma. I'm losing my freaking mind.
What did you mean?
Melasma. I have melasma. I'm not.
What is
seen.
melasma? That's
See,
a delicious,
I'm still not seeing.
sugary
Early
treat.
Army has called me early and said, boy, you better get your shit straight. You better think your brain through. Work it out.
What do you have, melasma?
I haven't been sleeping a lot lately, and
I hate
I would just like
spring
to
forward.
say now I'm not seen again. And
No,
he
he's
has
not seen. No.
cancerous type things, and mine is
He had
just
his
a
lymph nodes
really
removed.
unattractive. His lymph
You had a
nodes?
blotch. You had a blotch.
It's a bigger than a blotch. I beg your pardon.
You had. I don't really look my
My
best
God, this
today.
is
no,
red.
it
This is-
turns
I
into
almost
a
died.
weird-
Yeah, he had his lymph node. He had like.
I had
Well,
radioactive
just so you
tracing
know,
put into my.
When I saw that brown shit on my face, I almost died.
Oh my
How
God.
dare you?
We can close now. My special this Saturday, March 20th, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's
People.
going to live stream. We'll be here live with you guys. We're gonna
Let me sell it for a
say
second.
hi. I'm better at selling.
No, you're not. Not at your own special. You're not.
It's okay.
Guys,
Oh my
we
God.
shot, Combustion Film shot 5 cameras. We did it at a theater. It was weeks before we got locked down. It is edited. It is badass. This girl who worked for 10 years doing comedy did almost an hour, 20-minute special that just is
long is
kick-ass.
it?
Kills it.
The storytelling is amazing. Go to ChristopherTitus.com, get the tickets.
CombustionLive.com,
CombustionLive.com.
Rachel Bradley Comedy.
Yep. And we're gonna start. We're gonna do a little opening, and then there'll be a get together after. I think all those tickets are sold out there, right?
alphachick.eventbrite.com.
But you can still watch
The happy hour tickets did sell out a while ago. So it's going to be grab your drinks, whether you drink or not. Bring something non-alcoholic, be high, whatever you want.
You can also order your Alpha Chick shirts too. We're proud of this one, guys. I actually sent it to the big shots at ICM, and they said, who did this? And I said, we did. And they're like, no.
You.
We also, so there's add-ons on the ticket page. If you go to any of those websites we just gave you, alphachick.eventbrite.com, combustionlive.com, there's a face mask that says Alpha Chick on it. There's this shirt. You can do them as add-ons, or they're on my website. But we are going to do the happy hour after the show's over. We will come back on live and
But stay home on Saturday.
hi,
Don't go out
yeah.
and get sick. COVID. There's the new variants kicking ass through the country right
they've now
now.
detected the South African variant
Yeah.
in Santa Clara.
Ah, fuck.
So
Where? Santa
Here,
Clarita?
nice.
Can I say
Oh.
something before we go about Dr. Fauci? Because I saw Rand Paul, who I think he got his a medical license from playing Operation. The dude, he basically says, this is all theater. And Fauci, it's so funny to watch Fauci finally give up. Fauci's like, hey, no, this is theater. He goes, let me explain. And he just shut him down.
Right.
He shut him down. He goes, the variants. He goes, you're saying you get reinfected. He goes, the variants. He goes, you can get reinfected because there's a variant switches. We've actually had a variant, and he just scienced the fuck out of him. And he just took Rand Paul down. And Rand Paul, God, I again, I will say it again. If I ever run into Rand Paul's neighbor, I am buying that man dinner.
I remember that guy.
God.
There is also a variant here.
We just got a couple more months. People, just hang on
was
2 months.
initially
Hang on.
To the guy that wrote the email that I interrupt him. GFY. There is a variant that was initially discovered in Brazil, and they have found it in San Bernardino now. They just confirmed it yesterday, along with a fourth case of a variant from South Africa, the one that is resistant to the vaccine, was identified in Santa Clara yesterday.
And do you know?
So there's 2 variants here in California.
Do you know
now.
what? You know what they said? That news report came out and said, had we shut this down, had we just shut down for 8 weeks instead of we're gonna have to be open by Easter. We cannot lock down. The cure cannot be worse than the disease. It wasn't.
Keep going.
Oh God.
By the way, I think Santa Clara has a.
Titus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So here is how it goes. Like this: 0 cases.
Santa Clara what?
is a lot of non-mask wearers. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, the whole
it's a lot of
Central California is just
Yeah.
it's just COVID.
Yeah.
COVID got frequent flyer miles. It's just going through it. But they said that had we shut down and done what New Zealand did, we would have had less than 100,000 dead. That means there's an extra 400 and something thousand people that died. Not only did they die, their families got saddled with medical bills in the billions of dollars because one, excuse my language, but I'm going to say it, dumb motherfucker running this country. And so now we're here. We've got these Republicans bitching, and they're not doing anything. They still haven't passed anything. They're still not bringing anything forward. They got called out on it today. They were, and I want everybody to know that we finally have someone who's actually working for us. 100 million vaccines. He said in 100 days. It was 60 days. We've got the bill passed where you guys are getting money now. PPE businesses are staying open. So let's be clear. It ain't both sides. At the end of the day, politicians are all self-centered narcissists just like me. But these guys that are in charge now are actually doing something. Are they perfect? They never will be. But they're trying. All right. That's it for today.
Dun, 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 dun,
You know,
we
when
should have
I
done this.
start ranting and raving about America, I can hear you guys. Turn off YouTube and move on to cat videos.
We should have been on the Rockets Red Glare part right there.
I
should've
missed a
done
part.
Bomb!
Yes,
All right.
that was the part.
For myself, the lovely Bombshell,
We're not a good band.
and the Highlander. Yeah, we're not. We need to rehearse more.
I mean, us. You would probably have been better.
For myself, Bombshell, Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out. I would like a patriotic. I would like a national anthem.
There can be only one Hylinder. It's the Titus Podcast. And we're about to finish this episode. So hug this little boochie and get a ticket.
Chaplain in the sea.
Everyone go home.
Oh my God.